Brian Gilder. I know I'm working against the Wadsworth constant, but I have to make a disclaimer real quick, before the flamers come out of nowhere. I've never been intentionally controversial on this channel, and I'm still not intentionally controversial. These are just ideas in my head that I'm elucidating and trying to relate to the world. Also, I'm Catholic, so keep that in mind. Introduction over! I was in the shower today, and because I'm a huge nerd, I was thinking about evolution and how people tend to think that religion doesn't like it. No. People discredit fundamental Judeo-Christian believers for adhering unwaveringly to the literal word of the Bible, saying that science is stupid because it contradicts that. I don't see any reason why we can't marry the two concepts. I am comfortable believing in the Bible and in the theory of evolution, because in my mind they are not contradictory at all. Before he became Pope Benedict XVI, Joseph Ratzinger wrote a book called In the Beginning, which talks about the creation stories and the first part of the Bible. In it, he spends a lot of time talking about the difference between form and content, and I think that's a really important distinction. People who are fundamental Christians will adhere strictly to the form, saying that it is the literal historical truth, and that anything that contradicts it is wrong. I tend to take a more interpretive approach, in that the content is what we should be focusing on. There are those who regard the Bible as being an accurate historical text, but I don't think that it is supposed to be a historical document. I think the Bible can be historically inaccurate, but still be theologically true. I know there are going to be some people who would say I'm going to hell just because I'm not sticking to the Word of God, but I also know that there are people who are saying that I'm wasting my time with religion because it's stupid and science is the only way we can glean any truth out of the cold, unforgiving universe or whatever. I'm not interested in either extreme end. I'm much more comfortable working in the middle. And I'm sure there are also people of the Catholic Church who are going to say this is not at all in line with church teaching. Oops. So now, if you will allow me, and you have to, because it's my video, my biblical history might be a little bit off, but that's okay, because so is my science. Right, so form versus content, what the book says versus what I interpret the book to mean. In the beginning there was nothing and God created everything. That is to say that God pre-existed the physical universe, that he did not come from something. He just was. After the world was created, he put some stuff on it. The animals came about. God created man. In my mind, the creation of man is just the movement away from beast, the ape, into what eventually would become modern-day humans. Here is man, or what would become man, newly standing on his feet, just beginning to craft tools, starting to interact with the world in a way that put him above the rest of the animals. This is the moment when we transitioned from ape, or dumb, early hominid, to humans. When we ate the apple, that is the time when we developed the mental capacity for abstract thought. When we separated ourselves fully from beast, this is when we became man. We can make decisions beyond just instinct. There were lesser forms of humanoid beings that died out eventually, or that we interbred with, which is a weird concept, but they weren't fully us yet. They were not anatomically modern humans. Monkeys can make tools, but humans can think abstractly. When we go against the will of God, that means we are able to choose to ignore whatever it was at a basic level that God put into us. We are able to make informed, oftentimes sinful decisions. So I thought that was a pretty neat idea. Now I'm going to make a really abrupt transition to the end of the video. The idea that eventually became this concept in my mind, Inception, was first introduced to me by Brother Chris Baker, who was my AP biology teacher in high school, and also a Lasallian brother. And people say the religious don't like science. I'm sure there's extensive literature on the subject, but I haven't read it. Anyway, those are things that I think. The world's a weird place. This is starting to get tricky, theologically. Whatever. I've never been a heretic before. Fingers. I don't know why I get nervous. I've done this before. A lot, actually. There are kids in the hall. I should start over. Heresy is tricky. Heresy is very tricky. Maybe I could become a famous heretic. That would be great. Have like a thing named after me. Not really the legacy I wanted to leave, but who knows. Girls. There are girls everywhere. Why are there girls? separate from any of the other animals? That's gonna be at the end, isn't it? Spoilers, Qualls-Newtley dies. Sort of. While I've been thinking about this, I stumbled across what might be the meaning of life. We all